Hey, 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 welcome back to South Cobb Live, the podcast where community comes to life. I'm your host, Elise White, Emos when the mic's on, and your community host all year long. And this episode today is being brought in partnership with the Gary Hill Network in Smyrna, Georgia. Today's guest is someone who understands the power of a legacy. Terry Graham is the founder of Legacy Builders Wealth Management, which is a South Cobb, Georgia-based firm focused on retirement, investment, insurance, annuity planning, where the money resides. Terry, welcome to the conversation. How are you?
Oh, thank you for having me, and I'm doing great.
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome.
And speaking of fantastic, it's a fantastic how you help various audiences from families just starting out and retirees to helping their with goal setting. It sounds like Legacy Builders really helps turn financial planning into a personal empowerment statement. Is that right?
That is true. It is something that is very near and dear to my heart and personal to me to help people. And I use it not only as a business, but also as a ministry to help get the word out about just finances and people building wealth and getting their financial health in order.
That's very important. You sounds like you have a purpose underneath why you do what you do to really help people if you're doing it for ministry. So I love that. One of the things I want to do just getting us started is do a quick icebreaker. So I'm going to ask you a question. What is one common myth people have about retirement planning?
Ooh, a common myth is that they can wait. That is
Mm.
biggest thing that I say, oh, I'm too young to plan for retirement. You're never too young. My daughter I started her planning for retirement in her teens. I'm like, no, you're never too young. And that's the biggest thing is I'm too young. I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50. You need to do it and do it as soon as possible and even get your kids focused on that. And that's where that generational wealth takes place. So anyway, but that's a big thing. I'm too young for retirement planning.
Wow. That's interesting. That actually makes a lot of sense. What's the youngest client you've ever started retirement planning for?
The youngest, there's probably about 5 years old. Was working with a client. One of my clients was a grandmother, and she was like, "What can I do to help my grandchild avoid the mistakes I made?" And we came up with a plan, and we started it, and we used a life insurance product to help, and it's still being utilized. She's since passed, but her son now has taken it over and is contributing to that policy for his son.
So, in her need to fix her mistakes, or not just fix them, but just to live different because of her mistakes, she created generational wealth through her grandchild. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing. And like I said, it's one of those things. Start You can start with financial planning, retirement planning when children come out of the womb. And that's what a lot of people do in other communities.
What do you want everyday clients to feel after they work with you?
Couple of things. 9/11, a friend of mine was about to retire. And 9/11 hit. He worked for Delta. He was excited about retirement. 9/11 hit, and I didn't know until after the fact. And one day I saw him, and he just, you just somebody deflated. It was, and he's normally real jovial, real happy. I'm like, dude, what's like? He said, I lost my entire 401k. I'm sitting there just like, what? 9/11, Delta went bankrupt. I still have a pension from Delta, but I had a nice size 401k. That hit me hard because it's like, wow. And I knew I was diversified in my portfolio, but still checked. I said, let me see what I have because that is one of those gut punches that's like, wow. And it devastated his life. He wasn't the same. He just never was the same after that, just period, point blank. The next thing was a housing crisis, 2007, 2008.
Mhm.
That hit, and my wife called me about her 401k being half. Like, ooh. And so what to do? I said, do nothing. Let me research. And so that started me doing more research which then years later led me to the business that I'm doing now. A friend of mine called me one day and said, "Hey, you know this stuff. Why don't you come work with me? And you just do it part-time, and you can still do your full-time job. And you can do it part-time, learn the business, and get used to it." And I did. Took up that offer. And then once I got licensed and everything I could get licensed in at that time, and I saw a vision of legacy builders. I said, you are here to help people build legacies and as well as manage wealth. He said, but the goal is that generational wealth. And it comes from scripture. A good man leaves inheritance to his children's children. And the question came back to me, am I leaving an inheritance to my children's children? And I was like, I don't know. And I didn't. So then I made it my purpose to make sure I was doing that and then help other people do the same.
That's great. You make me think about the people who I consider financial planning as a self-care. It is as a form of wellness in so
Yes.
many functions. And I love that you said that you looked internally about what you were doing within your family and your finances, because it's like going to a trainer, you're going to a
Right.
physical trainer. It's the same thing with your financial health. So that's great.
Oh, most definitely. And that's what people don't look at. And it's like, okay, get your stuff together, make sure you understand and are using the different products that you offer to other people so that you are very familiar.
Great. So I want to ask a follow-up on that question. With the financial noise out there, there's so much information. It could be overwhelming. You talk
Yes.
about retirement, you talk about annuities, sometimes people's eyes glaze over like, wait. So how do you really help simplify things for your clients and help them make decisions with confidence?
One of the biggest things, and I did this the other day, is I asked this question. It's a simple question. One, do you have a pension? And most people today do not have pensions. Most people. So then the second is, would you like to have a pension? Do you want to have money coming to your bank account every month when you retire? And it's either a simple yes or no. Most people are going to go, yes, I want to have money coming to my bank account every month, or whatever day of the month that is coming to my bank account so that I can live off that money. So if that's the case, then we need to start retirement planning. We need to put together a plan that's going to make that happen when you hit 60 years old, if that's when you want to retire. Some people want to retire early. Of course, we need to look at other products, different products for that. But we look at the different products that help people reach their retirement goals and get a paycheck coming in every month. And that's the key.
Yeah, you want that paycheck coming in. That's how you simplify it, right?
Yes.
You want a small paycheck or you want a good paycheck?
And based off of some, I had a client, they had Social Security and they had 401k, and that was it. But we were able to take some of that 401k and put it into a vehicle that produced a monthly income for the client, and the client was happy with what they had. It wasn't a lot to me, but it was what that client needed. So I had to learn what is it that the client needs and then satisfy that need. And some people, it may be thousands of dollars. Some people, it may be hundreds. You just don't know. But find out what it is they need on a monthly basis.
That's good. The eye of wealth is in the beholder, the person that's living the life. So finding out their pain points and their needs is what you definitely need to do. So Terry, you have built this business, and remind me, how long have you been in this business?
It would be 10 years this October. And I just noticed that because I looked at my licenses. And how long have I had these licenses? So 10 years this October, I've been in this business and learning the business. And that was my big thing. Learning the business to make sure I can talk to clients about, one, hear what they need, and then talk to them about solutions for what they need.
So what has been the
Yes.
most rewarding part of building Legacy Builders for you, and what's next?
The most rewarding part is helping people and looking at their finances and seeing that they're okay, or if they're not okay, what we can do to help them become okay. I used to I still do them, but not as often. But I used to do a lot of seminars before COVID hit. I did some after, but mostly before COVID, everybody was coming together. And then I turned more to webinars now, and being able to share that information with people and then see them apply it and say, okay, I'm good. Or going through potential client's information and finding out that the client has done everything and I don't need to do anything. And it sounds weird, but it's just like, there's nothing I can do for you unless you just, want me to do something for you, but for your children or grandchildren, maybe, but you've covered all the bases. So seeing that is also a beautiful thing.
That's definitely reassurance to the client too. And I'm assuming if it were me and I checked in and my financial advisor told me, you're doing everything right, that would be good. And I would also trust you more. It's like going and get your car looked at and the mechanic saying, hey, everything's good. It's like a breath
Right.
of fresh air. And
Right.
the stigma of mechanics sometimes is
Oh, yeah.
like, they're always
Yeah.
looking for something, right? So the fact that you even have that as a normal practice or just the checkpoint is also good. So you said something about webinars that I just want to talk about before we go and finish off this podcast today. But you talked about education, and I know
Yeah.
that's an area of passion for yours. So what do you believe financial education is missing? What do you believe is missing in financial education? And how are you filling that gap?
Explaining things simply.
Hmm.
And that I picked up a client years ago, and I was not trying to pick this client up, and because of I want to say it, there was someone that helped me that was pursuing the client, and they helped me in a way that said I don't want to step on their toes because they helped me make it was a hard decision, and they were in the business longer, so I reached out to them for advice, and I was like, this person should be able to get this client, no problem, but I'm not going to jump in because I want to see this person get the client. About a month later, someone came to me and said, hey, this group needs to talk to you. I'm like, didn't they talk to, some other folks? They said, yeah, but none of them explained it well enough for them to become a client. I'm like, huh? I said, okay. I said, you know what? Tell me what they need. We found out what they need, set up a meeting, put together a PowerPoint. I put together PowerPoint presentations all my life in IT. So I put together a Barney style presentation to give them the basic information.
It was like, I love you. That was the financial. Y'all was just rocking it, huh?
Barney style presentation. And they were like, all right, you're it. And I'm like, excuse me? And they were like, you're it. You were the only person that came in here and explained everything from what it would cost us. You weren't trying to hide your fees and all this stuff and sugarcoat them like, here are my fees, and explained it. But this is the type of return you can get back from this particular investment. And they've got that return back. They were happy with it. They're still happy with it. Matter of fact, they gave me more money. And so a couple of years later, like, hey, we got more for you. Invest this for us. But I explained it and continuously explain it Barney style. I don't get deep. Here's what this and break
Yeah.
it so that people understand what you're talking about. And then that, oh, now I can make a good decision based off of it.
That's great. That in some simplicity. KISS. Have you ever heard of the KISS acronym? That is the simplicity. Keep it stupid simple, or
Yeah. Keep
simple
it simple.
stupid.
Yeah.
There you go.
Some people like
It goes a long way though.
Yeah. Yes. That's from military. Because in the military, we have to do stuff, and you may get a task that morning, and maybe one person maybe halfway knows what to do. Like, all right, KISS. Let's keep it, let's put our heads together, see what is the simplest way to accomplish this task. And then we do it. Here's the
That's right.
simplest way. Boom. Now the task is done. We can move on and do other things.
Wonderful. So as we wrap up today, and thank you so much for your time, Terry, we would like to do a South Cobb Spotlight Sprint. It's going to be less than a minute. All
Okay.
I'll do is toss out some words or phrases that I found value throughout today's conversation with you, and you'll say the first word, phrase, or song that comes to mind. You got it?
Okay. Got it. I'm
All
ready.
right, cool.
Ooh, the word of God.
Like that.
Generational wealth. Both.
I like
Both neo soul and jazz.
I like that. Okay. And then last but not least, old money or new money?
Old money because it's growing already.
It's in alignment with the legacy builders
Yes.
perspective for sure. You did it. You just conquered your first South Cobb sprint, so you did good.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
So Terry, tell everyone where legacy builders can be found.
Okay. Online, you can go legacybuilders.us is where we're located. If you go to that website, that is a hub for everything that I do. If you go to LinkedIn, you can look up Terry Graham and Legacy Builders Wealth Management. Facebook, same thing. They have Legacy Builders Wealth Management on Facebook as well. Those are the different social medias we are authorized to use as investment advisor reps. And the hub, though, is going to legacybuilders.us, and it will give you access there. If you go to eventbrite.com, look up Legacy Builders, you'll see the webinars that we're conducting. We conduct webinars every Wednesday on stock market alternatives, and then the third Saturday, we do webinars on retirement planning, annuities, and life insurance.
You heard it first, South Cobb Live. You can find Terry Graham with Legacy Builders Wealth Management. And to hear more episodes, come see us back soon at South Cobb Live on all podcast platforms and